Hello, I am Confucius, a philosopher and teacher who lived over 2,500 years ago in ancient China. Today I bring you a timeless teaching that has guided humanity through generations. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do unto others. This principle, though simple in words, is profound in meaning. It is the foundation of human morality and mutual respect, a cornerstone for peace, harmony, and understanding in society. In my time, the world was marked by disorder and conflict. Warring states vied for power, and families and communities suffered under the weight of greed, corruption, and mistrust. People often acted without considering how their deeds might harm others, causing pain and resentment to spread like fire. It was clear to me that if individuals could pause and ask themselves, would I want to be treated this way? Before they acted, they could avoid harming others, and in turn themselves. This was not only the key to personal virtue, but also to building a stable and just society. I taught my students that this rule of reciprocity requires deep reflection and empathy. It calls for you to see yourself in the lives of others, your neighbor, your family, and even the stranger. If you wish not to be insulted, do not insult. If you fear betrayal, do not betray. If you seek kindness and understanding, offer these gifts first to others. The wise man sees that in treating others with dignity, he creates a path for dignity to return to him. This teaching was powerful then, and it is just as essential, perhaps even more so, in your time. You live in an era where actions and words can travel across the world in an instant. The impact of your behavior has grown exponentially. In a world connected by technology, your treatment of others, whether through words, deeds, or even what you choose to share, can ripple out far beyond what you see. The harm caused by thoughtless actions or unkind words can now spread across entire communities, countries, or even the globe. Today, the principle of do not do unto others what you would not want done to yourself applies not only to the physical world, but to the digital one as well. Words and information are now weapons in what you call the information war. Inaccurate stories, malicious gossip, and divisive narratives create distrust and discord, just as swords and spears once tore nations apart. If you do not wish to be deceived or misled, do not deceive or mislead others. If you value trust and honesty, then share truth and kindness. Imagine the power of your modern world if this teaching were universally applied. Politicians would act in the interests of their people rather than themselves. Leaders would serve with integrity, knowing they too are subject to the rules they impose. Friends and strangers alike would communicate with respect, uplifting one another instead of tearing each other down. Technology would become a tool for unity rather than division. But for this to happen, you must first take responsibility for your own actions. Ask yourself in your heart, how would I feel if this were done to me? This single question can guide you toward decisions that build trust, compassion, and a more just world. In your homes, your communities, and even your online spaces, let this teaching remind you of your shared humanity. Now, as it was then, the wisdom of this teaching lies not in its simplicity but in its practice. It requires courage to treat others with kindness when the world tempts you toward anger or cruelty. It requires wisdom to hold your tongue or your actions when harm seems so easy to inflict. But when you choose to live this way, you become part of a greater harmony, one that transcends borders, beliefs, and time itself. This is how we build a more humane and enlightened world, one action at a time. Remember, the path to peace begins with you. Do not do unto others what you do not want done to yourself. If you would like to understand how this principle applies to our current challenges, particularly in the modern age of misinformation and manipulation, visit information-warfare.com. There, you can learn more about the information war that we are all experiencing today, and how we can combat it with truth, wisdom, and respect for one another. Thank you. And may you act with virtue, kindness, and wisdom in all that you do.